Apparently, homie decided to go to the strip club with the car. When the F10 M5 came out, we were heavily involved in it because it had, I believe, it was the infotainment system that was new, right? So we were heavily involved in that, and we had a lot of accessory pieces on this car. So we were invested in this car. When you find out kind of what happened to these cars, you understand why we were so pissed about it, because this is one of the first times, actually the first time, that a car that was launched at an auto show actually had accessories on it. So it had the black kidney grills on it. That was a big deal because even though we were the accessory group, you can imagine we were still like the stepchild of BMW, right? Because sales were like, you guys aren't purists, you're doing this stuff. Little did they know we made more revenue than they, or profit than they did, but whatever. So these cars were getting shipped to the LA Auto Show, 2 F10 M5s, brand new M5s. Now, look, even big car companies are a little cheap sometimes. It's not always reliable or one of the bigger carriers that bring these cars over. It was a smaller carrier that you had room for 2 cars, and you transport over 2 cars. At one point, this guy drops off the face of the earth. Can't find him. Can't find the cars. LA Auto Show came and went. Still can't find the cars. Finally, somebody had the idea to ping the cars because you could. And to be honest, I don't know why someone waited that long to even go find the cars. But we pinged the cars because you can. The Connected Drive team went and pinged the cars. By the way, that's how they do their repos as well. If they need to repo, they just ping the car. And they found the cars. And there was one car still sitting in the trailer. The car carrier was there. Just no one was there. And the other car was sitting outside of the car carrier, crashed, full of glitter and cocoa butter. Apparently, homie decided to go to the strip club with the car to go do whatever he had to do, and he had a good time in the car, crashed the car, and this guy just disappeared off the face of the earth. This guy he could not be found anymore either from the owner of the company, the towing company. So guys, mind you, we're sitting there, and we have 2 F10 M5s in the country that are known anyway. Who knows? Maybe there's one in Spartanburg at the engineering center or whatever. But these are press-ready cars going out to the LA Auto Show. These are the only 2 in existence in the Western Hemisphere. And this guy can't be found. So what they ended up doing at the auto show was, I think they just put an extra car in, but it was an awkward situation because there was talk about the F10 M5 being there. And then when there wasn't, there were some questions. But to be honest, it probably helped the company as a whole because people got more curious and there was some allure to it. Why wasn't it here? So around the same time, we had another shipping debacle. And this was for SEMA. And if you guys aren't familiar with SEMA, guys, this is like the biggest car show in the world. There's no way getting around it. And this was our first year there. First year that BMW decided to go to SEMA. This was a big deal. There's a lot of approvals to take place here. And we had a lot to prove. Because I think it was like $2 million to participate in SEMA of basically lost money. That's kind of how BMW looked at it. So the way it works is when you load up for SEMA, it depends on where your booth is. And SEMA will give you a load up time, right? More or less. They could change it, but you can't. You need to be ready when it's time to bring the cars in. And we were buried inside. So we were one of the first. And if we didn't go in, we'd hold up everybody else. It'd be a really bad situation if the car carrier was late with the cars. Funny enough, he was. About 7 hours late. Tony and his wife, Tony. So they were a couple truck drivers bringing the cars over. So what we ended up shipping to SEMA was 3 7 Series. So the reason why you bring 3 is to have backups just in case if this happens. In this instance, just the one had these one-off side skirts. So we couldn't just swap these side skirts if something were to magically happen to him. But what are the odds of something happening to him, right? Being carried by a professional driver. And the reason why we have the extra cars is for that and for runaround cars if we have to go do something during SEMA, after SEMA, whatever that may be. We were calling them for hours trying to figure out where they were. They weren't even picking up the phone. Finally, Tony and Tony show up. Now, I'm pissed. So I can't help it. So I walk up to the truck and I just start reaming into Tony, saying, where the hell you been? Why don't you call us? We can't even load up the car. Like, it was a disaster. Like, if the disaster would have happened, that was it. We can't get some of the best cars that we brought out for SEMA, right? Inside. So Tony's looking at me. He's like, okay. Next thing you know, his wife comes out. And she's got a club in her hand. Like, the club. Remember the club? That thing. And she's chasing us, right? Literally around the truck with the club. Meantime, there's security there in the lot. SEMA security, like behind the gates, right? And he's looking at me like, she's your problem. I'm like, she's Tony's problem, right? So they unload the cars eventually after everybody calms down. And we had a 7 Series there with like the only set of side skirts. It was a M Performance 7 Series. Okay, so this started with the F30, then they brought this into the 7 Series. They started doing M Performance parts on it. Only one in the country, or only set of cars in the country anyway, with these side skirts. Somehow, some way, our homeboy Tony ripped the side skirt off the car, along with the sticker on the side skirt that was the only one in existence, right? Because they were prototype stickers. So we pull the cars off and we start assessing the damage. Okay, so out of the 3 cars, we were able to piece together 4 rims that weren't destroyed, because I guess they had the cars off the trucks. You don't know what these people do sometimes with these cars. So we're sitting in the middle of the parking lot in SEMA swapping wheels. Now, mind you, not everybody's technically savvy. I am, right? There's another guy that was, but even though we had 15 people there, it's not like they could swap wheels, right? So we're corporate, right? So not everybody, believe it or not everybody's into cars. They don't even know what they are. Some people work in accounting. Got that sorted. So like, all right, good. We got 1 car pieced together that's supposed to go into SEMA. Then we start worrying about the side skirt problem. So we figured out that we could basically fix the side skirt, but we needed to fix the sticker. Now this is, guys, I'll say it again. SEMA, it's a big deal. People look at these cars. It's not like, put it in a corner. No, and it was up on a pedestal so you could see it. We rattle canned the side skirt with black spray paint that we got at Pep Boys. Then we took it to gloss it, and thank God for Rich Light at Gloss It, because he was able to fix up the rest of the car. But that car was the car that almost ended SEMA for us before it even started.
We all love Amazon, but most of us have had that experience where you buy something with a lot of glowing reviews that shows up and is just a piece of garbage, and it wasn't what you thought you were buying. Unfortunately, Amazon can be full of bad actors and fake reviews and things that just don't live up to what you think is going to come in a day or 2 after you order it. That's why New on Amazon has been developed. It was developed by Patrick Kupolari, a friend of the channel, a good storyteller who's talked about BMWs and McLaren F1s and things like that, and he's a huge e-commerce expert, and you can learn more about that on his YouTube channel. But he built a site of trusted sellers, well-reviewed products, and things that he actually knows will show up looking the way that you want them to. And so it's a great way to filter out some of the noise and some of the bad products that you might otherwise discover on Amazon. So check out New on Amazon at the link in the description below, and thank them for supporting VINwiki this month.